welcome back to Sport Federation TV, where every week we take a look at what's happening in the sport in the Western Cape. Our various sport federations, of course, very active at the moment. They're back in action. 2023 has come and gone, and we're into 2024. And tonight we'll be chatting to some of our federations that are either busy with tons of sports administration, or pre-season, or even in the middle of competition. In fact, some federations are even busy finishing up their season, because it works the other way around. Tell me a little bit more, and welcome back in studio from Lifesaving, Jill Fortuin. Jill, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's not the first time for you. You're becoming quite the TV expert.
By default, but yeah. I'm happy to advocate for Lifesaving Western Cape, so I'm happy to always become and assist.
Well, I think the last time we had you, in year we had you with Avron Manchester, yes, if I'm right.
Correct.
And then you came in also to talk to us about one of your international champs, because you had world champs last year in Australia.
We had the International Surf Rescue Challenge in Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah, and
Australia, Texas, well, you know,
yeah,
very close together. So how did that go? How was the Texas champs?
I think it was amazing experience. It was a very diverse team of athletes that attended. We had a large contingent from the Western Cape that participated in that tour, and the team done amazingly well. The open team, they came fourth overall. First place was Australia, I think second New Zealand, and third was the United States. And then our youth team actually won the competition.
Wow.
And that was, you know, we had some amazing performances from the athletes from the Western Cape, but also from the other provinces.
Yeah.
So I think hats off to them, and for all the support the Western Cape Sports Confederation has given them, as well as the clubs in the Western Cape.
Well, I tell you, it certainly looks like our provincial teams, I mean, Western Cape Lifesaving is really just doing well. I mean, you've got so many different aspects that are really shining. I mean, you're competing well over there, but you've also got so many young girls coming through the ranks that are doing so well.
Yes, and I mean, Georgia Singer was one of the superstars at the competition. You know, they up-competed her to the open section. So she's youth, and she competed in the so-called senior section, or otherwise known as open, because there was somebody had some ill health in that division. And Georgia literally came first in the surf ski, beating the Australian world champion. And then they had to obviously re-look at the footage, and then they placed the second. But that's just an indication of how close the race was. Yeah, and then we had some other competitors like Babette van Rooyen that also done absolutely amazing. Eve Abrahams, who, you know, the 15-year-old that competed for the first time internationally, you know, coming second in flags and second in sprints, to 18-year-olds, it's a huge achievement. So I think one can only be very, very proud. Rebecca Fury, she didn't lose a single race.
Wow.
So, and those are just our female athletes, not speaking about our male athletes who also performed really well.
And you know all of the athletes' first names by name, but of course you travel with the team as well. I mean, you know them, right? You've got to look after. Are you like mom on the team?
Yeah, sometimes. For the team that went to Texas, I was the manager of the senior team. Yeah. So that was a first-time experience for me as well, to be a manager of an international team. And then I know all these athletes because they've come through the ranks. So I've been involved with Lifesaving for many, many years, but in particular as a coach for the provincial team for the past 3 years. Yeah. So I've gotten to know these athletes, seen their growth, and it's absolutely amazing to see what they do in the sport as not just athletes and female athletes, but also how they serve their communities so unselfishly, because as you know, this is not just a sport, there's also a volunteer component to it.
The volunteer component is obviously lifesavers out there. I mean, on multiple levels, but lifesavers out there weekly, daily, looking after us on the beaches.
Correct.
Out there. From a Western Cape Lifesaving point of view, you've obviously got a lot of active clubs. We're still in the summer season. Are you guys still actively competing at the moment? What's the calendar looking like?
Yes, this coming weekend we have the Nipper competition on Sunday at Clifton, and then from next weekend we start our championships And the first championships on the 24th and 25th of February is at Milnerton. It's the Lifesaving Western Cape Championship. So we're having our Eden district, our local clubs all participating for, the honours title in lifesaving. And the following weekend after that, 3rd and the 4th of March, is the Nippers. And from those two competitions will be the final selection of the provincial teams. So from now onwards, it's an exceptionally busy season, not just for manning our beaches, but also for competing. These lifeguards are showcasing their talents, not just as sports people, but what they actually have to do when they go in for a rescue or do a patrol on the beaches.
One of your big campaigns from Lifesaving has been the drowning prevention campaign. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I think Lifesaving South Africa and Lifesaving Western Cape has been driving that initiative quite hard to ensure that our beaches and our interventions in terms of drowning prevention is out there. They've launched an online platform to sort of get grade 4s involved in prevention. And then there's talks that are happening at schools daily throughout the Western Cape, throughout South Africa, where they're trying to educate people around drowning and drowning prevention. And then there's tons of research happening in the background. We've got, fortunately, Dr. Colleen Saunders, that's based at UCT. She's doing quite a bit of research in that area. So I think there's so much happening out there in terms of drowning prevention as well.
One of the things that I found interesting is what you were telling me about how in the world of lifesaving and sea safety, if that's the right word, sea safety, the world has become digital now. You can actually track. There's apps that can help with preventing and rescuing people.
Yeah, there's an app called Safe Tracks, and it's managed 24/7, 365 days a year. And mostly surf skiers are encouraged to use it. So when they go out on these long paddles, they activate Safe Tracks, and it plots their movement throughout it, and it sends alerts to a call center. I think the call center is managed by NSRI, and and we encourage people to use it as a drowning prevention initiative, but it can be used in other environments as well. But in particular in the sea, the NSRI is monitoring the movement of that person using Safe Tracks.
That's quite incredible. So if something does go wrong, they're obviously able to send someone out and go and have a look.
Correct. And there are such good stories of people that have been saved and rescued because of Safe Tracks. And I think it just shows that the innovation around drowning and drowning prevention, it's out there.
And this year, just to go back to the competition side, obviously this year you guys will continue to compete in the surf side and the still side.
Correct. So our Stillwater Provincial Championships was on the 27th of January, and it was a huge success. It was held at Bellville Pool. And if I'm not mistaken, the winning club was Clifton Surf Lifesaving Club. Or Clifton.
So of course, Apron Manchester Club.
Yes.
Cool.
So they done very well in that competition, and the other up and coming club is Big Bay Surf Lifesaving Club, which is predominantly a very small lifesaving club, but they done phenomenally well in the Stillwater competition, both in the Nipper section. They came first in the Nipper section and second in the youth and open section.
Jill, it's been fantastic to have you in studio with us, as always. We're looking forward to getting you back. And tell everybody at Lifesaving we're so proud of them, and we can't wait to find out more.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
There we go, folks. Jill Fortuin from Western Cape Lifesaving, and find out more about Lifesaving on their website and the Facebook page. And of course, we're always eternally grateful to the lifesavers for the support that they give us out there. But the competitive side of lifesaving is, of course, running at its absolute optimum here in the Western Cape. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking about sport in the province. Don't go away.